And what's good? Guna world, Guna guys, and Guna girls. If you see my face, you know who it is, you know what it is. It's your boy Match Day Uno. It's an Arsenal match. We're playing at home, we're playing Bournemouth. We're at the Brazen Head, we're at the church. So let's go in and see what's happening, what's popping with today's service. Come on, Keish. I actually think we're kind of late. Why are we always late? Let's go, Dougie. Guna fam, what's good? We're at the Brazen Head, the Arsenal Church, 4 ways, Johannesburg. I got Nqobile here with me. He's got a lot of views on Arsenal. So I'm just gonna press play on you. Tell me everything. Let's start with the match. How did you feel about the match?
Look, I'm happy with the result. Obviously, you can never be unhappy with the win.
3 points.
3 points is 3 points,
Come
right?
on, yeah.
I'm not really too happy with the performance. We really didn't get out of third gear for this match. But I mean, at the end of the day, we managed to see out the results. A few scary moments at the end, but you know, I'm just happy with the win before the international break, and
the clean sheets. Change in the BPL.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's our second clean sheet of the season in the Premier League. I think the first time that we've kept a clean sheet with the two centre-back pairing that is
troublesome. So how do you feel about David Luiz, like in general and today's performance?
In general, I think today he had a great game. You see, the thing is that with me, we always know that he's got a mistake in him, yes.
Pending.
But for the style of play that Unai Emery is trying to play, he is the right centre-back that he is the right type of centre-back that we need. He distributes the ball quite well, doesn't panic on positions, you know. So for me, I'm more concerned about Socrates in the current system that we're playing, purely because of his inability to play the type of football that Unai Emery is trying to play. Obviously, hopefully when we get a Rob Holding back, fully fit, playing...
Not Mustafi.
No, not Mustafi. Mustafi is similar to me to Socrates in that obviously he's got errors, but for me, my biggest worry with him is that he gives away a lot of balls when you try to play, even in midweek, the Europa League games. There, towards the end, there were times when he was giving the ball away in dangerous position, but luckily because we had a midfield midweek that had legs, the guys were able to track back. The kids have got engines, most of the kids that were playing that day. So the guys were able to track back and recover those mistakes. So yeah, for me, I would prefer like seeing a Chambers or a Rob Holding at the centre back. But obviously Chambers is having to play right back at the moment because Ainsley's playing very well. Yeah, he's a bit low in confidence, and he said that he's not really a right back. Even though for me, as a player, I think if a coach gives you an opportunity, you need to take.
That's something you should take it and run. Complaining about.
Yeah, he should be, because now he's literally played himself onto the bench now. He's not really. You know, that's the thing. So, but yeah, I would have liked to see like a Czech, because Chambers is more of a baller. He's more comfortable on ball. He can play and he can pass out. But obviously now he's been forced to go play at right back until Bellerin comes in, and then hopefully I would like to see maybe some of those kids or those youngsters playing in centre back, maybe with a David Luiz, or maybe in a game where we feel we need a bit more legs in defence. Maybe play those two British kids as our two centre backs, basically. Bellerin on the right and Tierney obviously on the.
So who would you say is your best performer of the match today?
I can't really pick out. There was no one really for me who was stand out. You know, I mean, Guendouzi still dictated play. So I mean, I liked how he's kind of taken that leadership role in the middle. Once he comes for the ball, he calls for the ball. I was seeing him doing a few last-ditch tackles there at the end, getting back into the box. So that's what I've liked about the one thing I've noticed about him now is that in the past he used to get caught out a lot defensively. That is, he never used to track back. But recently I've seen him starting to do a lot more of that. Where he's coming and pulling in last-ditch tackles. And for me, that's not really his role. But I think he's kind of stepped up to the place that, look, I can't really rely on Xhaka to do that for me, even though that is his role. He doesn't really have the legs to do that. Let me try and assume a bit more of that defensive respect. And that's the one thing that has surprised me a lot. But that's what I'm most impressed about, besides obviously him detecting the play.
What about Danny Ceballos?
So
how do you feel about Danny Ceballos?
So the thing is that, like, Ceballos today, he had an average game. Like, yeah, sure, he got on the ball a few times, but he wasn't really affecting play where I would have liked him to affect play. He wasn't really playing up the pitch, linking up with a Aubameyang or Xhaka or...
So he lacks creativity.
No, so he doesn't lack creativity, but I think he's being forced to come deep a lot recently. And for me, I'd like to see him in more advanced positions where he can
actually express.
I mean, if you think about it, Aubameyang he literally had like one chance, I think, today. The one off the post I won't count because it was offside. It would have been chalked off anyway. I think I can only recall one shot in the match in the first half. They had second half, he barely had a sniff. So to me, that speaks to our midfield not really. I think they're playing too far away from. They're not really getting in those advanced positions where they can feed him little balls, in areas where he can. Because that guy, if you get him in the box, he gets a chance to usually score. But we're not giving him any chances. He's literally getting balls, facing his own players, turning back, literally running back towards his own goals and trying to lay off balls. Which for me, that's not really his forte. That's more of a Lacazette. So Lacazette is more suited to that type of play. Aubameyang is literally those guys who should be slipping in with little through balls or getting crosses in and getting him into chances. And hopefully, when a player like Tierney comes in, you will be able to feed on some of that guy's cross. Because another area where we're lacking at the moment is that in the crosses. We're getting the balls out wide, and then the supply in has been quite poor. That also affects the player, because when you're getting poor balls, you end up not making the runs because you don't believe the players are going to give you those balls. So that's, I think, one thing that's probably been affected in Nqobile, is that you're not really seeing him in those dangerous positions where he can get in on the end of something, because he just purely believes. He doesn't believe that he's going to get the quality coming in from Kolasinac.
So your worst play for today?
It's still... Pepe for me was quite disappointed today, but I think it's going to take him some time to get you. Let's not try and heap a lot of pressure onto the guy and expect miracles from him. I mean, he's coming from France, he's still trying to settle into England.
But it's almost 10 games now.
It's 10 games, he scored 1 goal. Look, he got an assist off a corner, but as a designator, that's a lottery for me as a corner kick taker. Whoever, you could have been Ceballos there, could have been Xhaka taking the corner, we would have got a goal. So for me, that's not really a type of assist that I would count on and say this guy created something. That's more of the so I'm a bit disappointed with results, but also with that, I'm disappointed with his performance per se. I'll say he was our worst player, but he wasn't that bad that he stood out as the worst player. There were a lot of guys who were literally subpar. I mean, most of the guys were probably 6 out of 10s, maybe a few 7s today. So I think most of it's a tough one to pick because a lot of the guys didn't perform well, but for me, out of everyone, he was probably one of those. Be him and Kolasinac. Kolasinac defensively towards the end was also found a bit wanting, I think, and his crossing was also quite. So look, he stood up strong on a few challenges, but in general, I'd like to see a bit more from him as well. He's not really. He seems to have declined since he's come in at Arsenal. He started off quite well last season, and I think his his performances have just been tailing away at the moment. So for me, Pepe was probably our worst performer, but it's not that he wasn't really that awful, but he was there and amongst his peers, and his peers performed quite well as well. But I will pick him.
Were you glad to see Martinelli?
I was glad to see Martinelli. Obviously he didn't get a lot of chances, but I like what I see from the kid. It looks very confident, looks quick, looks hungry, looks sharp. If we're going to be playing a pressing style of football, those are the type of players that we need to have. Guys who are quick, guys who are hungry, guys who can chase down the ball. So I really like him for that. Whereas like a guy like Pepe, for me, another disappointing area of his is that he doesn't really seem to be able to do a lot defensively for us. So he doesn't seem to press well. To me, it looks like he gets beaten quite easily as well, and he doesn't have the ability to recover. So and you actually see these days Aubameyang doing a lot of the marking for him. You see a lot of the times when we under the cosh, Aubameyang tracking back, marking guys, marking the right back or the left back of the opposition on the right hand side, trying to retrieve the ball and trying to do a lot of Pepe's work in that aspect. And I saw that also again today towards the end of the game. Obviously Pepe had come off at the time, but I saw him doing a lot of those responsibilities. And I think that's the one area that Pepe, if we really want to press, that's the one area Pepe needs to work on a lot, to not be beaten easily. Because once he gets beaten, they straight in at us, because we know that Xhaka doesn't have the legs to come. So once they get through that first line of defense, Xhaka doesn't have the legs to keep up with runners that are coming in. So he's literally forced to either give a foul away or literally let the guy through.
So were you impressed with Xhaka's performance today then?
Look, I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. But I wouldn't say he was stellar. Like, he was average. It was a 6 out of 10 performance. He didn't give away a lot of balls. Still conceded a few fouls. Unnecessarily. So I mean, he was. I can't say that he was. I can't lament his performance and say that he was particularly poor, but he wasn't great either. I think
he wasn't as bad as it normally is.
Yeah, look, but for me, I think the thing is that he's bad purely because we play him the way we play him.
Yeah.
So for me, he's not a bad player. It's just that the way we're utilizing him and the style of football we're trying to play doesn't suit him.
That's fair. That's
so that is my issue with Xhaka. So I don't think he's a particularly bad player, but for the way we're trying to play at the moment, you can't have him playing at that number 6 role as the last man, the guy screening our defense. We're gonna get murdered. So for me, maybe if he plays a bit further forward, if he plays next to a guy like Torreira, it'll work out fine. Or even like when we play this nonsense midfield we play against Man United, right? That's for me. Even if you tweak something small, like have him maybe playing as our number 10 in that type of game, because we were parking the bus pretty much. Or that's what the formation or the personnel he selected suggested that, right? So, but for me, if you have him playing further forward and have Torreira mopping up everything behind him, it will get more out of Xhaka because he will take away those defensive responsibilities that he has, and he can pick and choose when to press guys, and he knows that he knows that even if he misses a tackle, there's still 2 other guys in Guendouzi and Torreira covering his back. So maybe
we can rely on.
So maybe we can even. So for me, it's like small things like that, which you can. Just small positional changes can make a big difference to the team.
Last question: are you Unai out?
It's a bit early to say Unai out, but look, from what I've seen,
you're fair.
Yeah, I'm fair. I'll give him the season, right? This season, guys, let's not get it twisted. We should be finishing 3rd this season. We have got a squad good enough to finish 3rd this season, right? Because if you look at our main rivals, they're all going through up. Man United all over the place. Chelsea are playing kids, and they're going to take probably this season to gel and probably come right next season. Tottenham, I mean, their problems are well documented. They've conceded 10 goals this week. They've lost their inspiration. Probably Loris bails them out of a lot of situations. And I mean, I don't know how long. That looked like a very bad injury, and I don't know how long he's going to be out for.
Sure.
So they're going to be struggling this season, I reckon. So for me, minimum this season.
There's no reason for us.
There's no reason for us to not finish in the top 4. And for me, 3rd, I'll be happy with 3rd. Look, I mean, if we get a trophy here or there, like a card. I mean, okay, look, the Carabao Cup is going to be quite difficult because we're playing Liverpool. But I mean, if you get one of those like that or like an FA Cup, it's a bonus. But for me, I think getting back into the Champions League is a key criteria. And I think if Unai Emery doesn't get into the Champions League this season, I think we should wave him goodbye. And I'm not really. My issue with him is just that he doesn't seem to be playing players in the right positions, and it's evident. Everyone can see it. I mean, even these nonsense not commentators, but these analysts like Michael Owen, these so-called pundits in the UK. I think some of them are quite atrocious, like your Sherwoods and co. But even they can see that. Look, I mean, this guy's not playing. He's not playing his players to his strengths. So for me, that is my biggest gripe with him. I mean, the Torreira issue for me is it's a big problem where we're playing him as a number 10. He's not a number 10. But we are literally trying to win the ball, asking him to go and press guys at their own box, and then when they play the ball with him, he can't recover. And we know because we don't have legs in the middle either. So for me, small things like that are what are really concerning me. Making me question the coach. But I mean, I'm not. I think at the time we got him, he was probably our best option. But at the moment, for me, he's not really that type of coach that will get us to the next level. Because we as Arsenal should be challenging for the league. That's where I expect us to be, or thereabouts. But with him, I don't really see us getting there. We don't really have a style of play at the moment. We're not really playing any particular type of football. We don't know whether we're pressing. We don't know if
brandless football.
We're brandless. standless at the moment. We shocking at the back, we're shocking going forward now. At least in the past we're shocking at the back, we're pretty decent going forward. At the moment we seem to be poor in both departments. And for me defensively it doesn't seem like we know what we're doing. We don't know whether we should be pressing or should be sticking back, and playing in our own half and getting bodies behind the ball and playing. It seems like some of the players are pressing but some of them are not, and it's easy, 3 passes and guys are into our defense. Straight in at David Luiz and straight in at Socrates, who are not the quickest of players as well. So for me it's that's what's frustrating me about Unai Emery. But I mean, I'll give him the season, and if he doesn't make top 4, I think he should be honest about it.
Alright. Nqobile, thank you so much for your input, man. Very much appreciated, man.
Thanks, man.
Gunacast_SA. Please follow, like, and subscribe. Cool, thank you.